I'm like, the worst thing would be is if like you're reaching to go in there and you just slice your face open.
Well, that would not make for a very good Disney Plus show. Kevin was like, no, thank you.
Hi, we are the Screen Sisters.
Yay. Okay, so episode 2 opens with them, having that.
You're a kid.
Yeah. And then the joke was really funny when she's like, blah, 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 since I was 5. And he was like, oh, so like last year?
Yeah.
So that's like definitely a joke I would have
made.
Yeah. Yeah, so then what was the first thing they do? He goes to her house.
Yeah, they go back to her apartment.
Back to her apartment. They get the dog. And then they go get supplies. Okay. So the safe house or place she could go to was the apartment of a woman named Moira Randon, who she claims was her aunt, correct? So conspiracy theories suggest that her aunt is actually Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. And so what do you think? How do you think that would be because how do you think that would be like?
Well,
if they were sisters.
If we just look at features alone, they both have like dark hair. Well,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like status, what they do for a living, secret things, secrets.
So if her aunt is Contessa, with knowing what her mother does.
Say that again.
You're saying you're saying in relation to Contessa being her aunt.
Yes.
And then Eleanor being a wealthy security company owner.
Yeah.
My thinking the connection could be that if they really are, sisters related, or maybe not related, and just this is your aunt, it could be that they have some sort of system worked out where if they get Eleanor in a position to be the security front for this company, this corporation, something like the World Security Council, I don't know. Then Contessa de la Fontaine has access.
I didn't think about that. I did think about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, though. I was thinking that maybe that what's her name? Eleanor could have possibly, if we're speculating that she is a bad guy, or at least in some way in cahoots with some really unsavory people, then maybe possibly she could have been the person on the other end of Sharon's phone, the power broker. Because now that Sharon's officially the power broker, what if phase 4, Jesus, is just a plethora of very angry female villains.
And I would be totally fine with that.
and also, that could also lead into how other rumors were speculating that Sharon was talking to Xialing at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. So if there's just like a very angry woman army for the next phase 4. Did I say her name right? Xialing?
I really don't think Xialing is going to be a villain.
Okay.
Even if she is, she would be a villain along the lines of Loki. Like we've already decided collectively that we love her. So she can do no wrong.
That's true.
Now, Sharon, I'm still a little on the fence about where she stands, but I guess if she was that jaded about being on the run for 4 years, Three years until the snap. She was on the run for 3 years. But was she snapped? Well, what's your question? I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
I don't remember my question now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My speculation is that she gave the name Moira Brandon. MB. Backwards is BM. And who do we know in the MCU already with the initials BM? Bobby Morse.
Yep.
So that's her aunt, I've decided.
Okay, so no, but okay.
Probably very wrong. I am wrong.
I'm proud of you. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. So then Tracksuit tracks him back and no, that was beforehand. So okay, so now they're in the safe house and Moira Brandon, and then she has to go to work, and then he goes to look for the suit. And then he ends up at that.
Miss work because it'll look suspicious. Like more people will be looking for her, so you don't want that, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, when she clicked on the buzzers to get into the building, it made me think of Requiem for a Dream. And I don't know if anybody has seen somebody made recut the trailer for Requiem for a Dream into a rom-com. So it made me think of that. It's in poor taste, I think, a little now, but yeah. So does Clint's family know everything that happened when he had that suit, or do they just know he was in that suit?
They knew he had the suit. I don't think they knew.
But his wife, oh, you don't think she knows that he had the suit? She just knows that it was a suit stolen from the Avengers, or stolen from the compound, not necessarily that it was one of them.
So what if Clint never told?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like that's something you wouldn't tell your children, that you were out slaughtering.
By the way, when I thought you were dead, I murdered a bunch of people for no reason because I was so pissed off. Welcome back to the world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's something I don't think he would tell his wife or children, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe they're a new age family.
It's like Gossip Girl all over again. Okay.
But yeah, I really like when, obviously they went their separate paths because he had a lead on the NYC LARPers. And I just really liked that sequence because the sticker was on a firefighter's truck, and firefighters are already regarded as heroes, right? But then to find out that they still go and meet with other, people who kind of help protect other people and save and rescue workers and everything, to find out that they go and do this event, every once in a while together, to still feel like the type of heroes that they want to be, but can't be, I guess, because they're, just humans. I thought that was really humbling, but then it also kind of made me wonder if it was necessary for him to come across the LARPers, because I wonder if he had lost the joy and the simplicity of the bow and arrow, because I feel like at base it's a hobby. Obviously people use it for other, like it was used for hunting and whatnot, but I think today it's more for hobby and for sport. So I just wonder if that joy is gone from him now because he's had to use it to take lives, essentially.
Understandable.
And yes, he was saving the lives of, the people he was fighting for, but I just wonder if he needed that moment to kind of reconnect with if he does reconnect with the simplicity of it.
Well, actually, I haven't thought about that. So I'm trying to think. In the final fight scene of Endgame, he had his bow and arrow, correct?
Yeah. He had both the sword and the bow and arrow. Because remember, he was running through the tunnel and he ziplined himself up to the top of the shaft and then he cut it with the sword.
Yes, you are right. You are right. I forgot about that. Okay. So do you think just because like the sword was more of his killing weapon as opposed to the bow and arrow was supposed to be his like maiming weapon?
His what?
Because maiming.
Oh.
Yeah. Like not really meaning like you can
right.
kill someone with the bow and arrow, but most importantly, if you just hit them in like the arm or the leg, they can still live.
Right.
As opposed to a sword, which is like definitely you are going to die if you get stabbed with a sword.
Yeah.
So do you think is that what you mean? Like how the different weapons mean different, like how he was feeling about who needed to live and who needed to die? Because if you see the first films, I'm an Avenger. They weren't fighting, people in any of the films. They were fighting creatures and things. We never actually saw Hawkeye kill anyone except for when he was Ronin, right? People, not creatures or robots.
Well, he did almost kill Thor. Well, wound Thor. Let's see here. Age of Ultron with robots. Infinity War, he wasn't there. Endgame. Dogs. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, let's move past that. Okay. So what do you think is going on with Jack and his uncle?
Bro, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Armand is like, bitch, I don't like your mama.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure this is stuff we're gonna find out along the way. It's probably, heirloom stuff. Who has the right to what riches the family holds, that type of thing. Who's gonna be the next heir or something like that. It's interesting to me. Is Jack's name Armand as well?
I don't know.
Like, is his first name Armand and he goes by Jack to be different?
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's like the third or the fourth.
Yeah. Well, no, he's the third. The boy was the seventh, so he's probably the fifth.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's probably the fifth.
Well, wait, but wouldn't don't the Armands just go by lineage? So it'd be like Armand's son is Armand, then Armand's son is Armand. So that wouldn't be Jack because Jack was the nephew. Yes.
I don't know.
It's been a long time since I named my child Armand.
Yeah.
Okay. We can move past that.
Yeah. Oh. But I am curious about the situation and I'm sure we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next? Oh, so the big reveal.
Wait, do you think it's gonna be one of those situations where Kate's gonna have to like take down her own mother?
I don't know. I was hoping it wouldn't be that way. I think they're kind of setting it up so Jack will be the bad guy, but maybe at the end of the movie, maybe at the end, maybe she'll probably take out Jack, and then her mom will be like, actually, Jack was my fall guy. It was me.
She's gonna be John Lark.
Who's that?
From Fallout.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good movie.
Earlier you were saying that she is preferential to her father.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's why, or a little bit of why we see her in suits?
I immediately was just under the impression that she wore the suit out of defiance,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really think about it being just like an ode to her father because
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really see him in a suit.
Yeah, he wasn't in a suit. Okay, I'll take that.
Because you notice how her mom said, "Go upstairs and put on that red dress," and she said, "Okay," and then she saw Jack. Then she put the suit on because it looked like she was going to put on that red dress. Okay, so then
so okay, so then not necessarily preferential to her father. Do you think it's like her, because even he said that comment about she was testing their dynamic or something when they were all sitting in the office, her, Jack, and Kate, Jack, and her mother in the office. And he was reading books about being a stepfather. So do you think not necessarily being preferential to her father, yes, an act of defiance, but also in her mind, she's been the one that took care of her mother all this time. Like she's been by her mother's side all of this time. Like they didn't need anybody else. Maybe a little bit of that too.
well, I think kids feel that way, period, about their parents moving on. Because they're seeing it as like a missing parent, but the parents are like, I'm missing like someone with me, like a partner. So it always takes like a long time. The television media trope is like people hate their step parents and all that stuff, but like in reality, I don't really think it's all that bad. So it could be that same classic, I don't like my mom's new boyfriend trope that they do. And especially again, another media trope is they show when older people want to remarry or start a new romance, it all happens so fast because older people don't really like to wait around because they thought they waited around enough. Like they're in their 40s and their 50s, and people always think they're rushing things, but like, what do they have to lose by rushing? Like they're already, established where they are in life, probably already have good careers, good jobs. They're in their late 40s, early 50s, have kids. Anything that they thought they needed to do with their partner and their partner is no longer there, they don't need them anymore. Obviously, they can start over again. So I think just like that whole trope, I'm going to keep using the word trope. It's just always trope. The trope of the trope of the trope. It's always used in media. So I think maybe this is just another one of those times. And then of course, this is the MCU. We're starting new stories, new chapters, new everything. So a girl not liking her stepdad is very like relatable for any girl who is 22, whose mom is remarrying to a guy that she has, hasn't been with her mom for that long.
Yeah. The part when she's leaving the office and she gets a phone call from the detective about did that make you think of Fight Club?
No. Why did you think about Fight Club?
Because remember, it's almost the exact same thing. The narrator is sitting in his office and he gets a phone call from a detective about his apartment being blown up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was just a little bit of a.
Oh, because he told him it was burned down by a candle or soap.
Or I think he said he left the oven on or something, but he had purposely blown up. No, did he purposely blow up something?
Yeah.
He did, right? Okay. All right.
One day I'll like actually like deep dive into Fight Club world because I don't know anything other than the film.
Did you see it? You saw the movie, right?
I just said I don't know anything other than the film.
Okay.
But just
see it. I'm just kidding. All right.
Do you like that?
Do you like that?
Echo. I was so excited to see her, and I love that she was in like a dark red room and she was like feeling speakers and she was all like weird and all about that life. So I'm looking forward to her next like confrontation with them because I really want to I really want to see that interaction because it's gonna be
Yeah.
Kate being like, "What? Huh? What? Huh?" And then now that you can tell Hawkeye is learning sign language, they can have a conversation. And notice how this is now like, what is this the second time sign language has been in the MCU now because of Eternals?
I want to say no. I want to say I've seen it somewhere else in the MCU, but I just don't know where.
Someone will let me know sometime.
Okay.
Thoughts on Echo and her entrance?
That was a good, solid entrance. That was a perfect song to match. I definitely shout out to, I don't know if I should name drop him, but thank you for letting me know the name of the song. I've been listening to it for a week.
What's the name of the song?
Christmas Island by Depeche Mode.
Oh.
And obviously I'm a sucker for
Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so I type in Christmas Island. I didn't know Christmas Island was a real place.
I think right out of the gate, it feels like very solid. And I think we're and all like the slack, I guess, a little bit, or the fat around, or the things that we thought were missing from some of the previous MC or Disney Plus series. I think we're going to see less of that as we get farther out from the pandemic and having
what was considered fat,
or not fat but slack. Just I think like the ending to I think people were underwhelmed by the ending to WandaVision. Like they thought it was rushed or something, and then I think people didn't like the ending to Hawkeye. We're watching Hawkeye, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So you just think that they have a hard time like sticking their landings?
I guess so, yeah, but I'm not upset about it because I don't think the shows are meant to be a finale season 4 of Breaking Bad ending finales. Like I think they're just meant to get you get you from that one thing to the next thing, because the ball is going to keep rolling. So we're not going to stop, I think, on anything that's a major with these shows, because they're going to save that for the movies. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I'm excited for the series. I like what I've seen so far, and looking forward to the next 4 episodes.
Yeah.
It's I'm in this weird place where it's like they tell me how many episodes they're gonna be, and I'm like, that's not enough.
Yeah.
But then it's like the first 2 episodes were written and directed and shot in a way that is coherent and full. So now I'm like, okay, 6 episodes is fine.
Well, also think about it. Their Marvel probably is using an entire budget of like a 24 episode series.
That's true.
With special effects, acting, location. I mean, lots of TV shows don't have that luxury of being able to afford everything they want and make it still look good. Mm-hmm. So I think that has something to do with it, because now Marvel has a lot of money and they can do whatever they want. And I don't think doing a long season series would do them any justice, because the long series seasons that they're doing are actual films.
Yeah, that's true.
So these little basically these are all short films of intros and other stories.
These are the tie-in comics. That's what these are. Yeah, these are the tie-in comics.
Exactly.
I will say one thing.
Yes.
Because I'm going to keep talking about it. One show that did lose its budget along the way, but still managed to look damn good, was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I knew you were going to say that. And mind you, I'm over here thinking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I just think about all of season 5 and 6. They were all of season 5, they were just in a gray and walking from like gray room to gray room when they were in space. And
then when they got
there's always like a warehouse or a building or a something. And was that all of season 5? Oh yes, they were in space. They came back, and then everything that happened with
In the lighthouse.
the lighthouse. Yes,
Yeah.
everything was in the lighthouse. So, and then all of season 6 was in a lighthouse too, right? Oh no, all of season 6 they were flying. Daisy and I was gonna say Lila. Daisy and Gemma were flying through space looking for Fitz.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then we got that was actually the first time we got I mean, Disney Plus did zombies, but they had zombies on Agents of Shield.
Who was the zombie?
Remember she brought those oh, what's her name? The lady with the hair, and she was singing, and she put those bats in them, and
Izelle?
Yes, and then they would turn into like rage monsters. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Zombies.
They were bats. I thought they were birds.
They were something.
They were bird bats.
They flew. They were bird bats.
Okay. Okay. So
I guess that's it. I mean,
well, thanks guys for watching our video. We will be back.